So I'm at the Tarxien temple in Malta, and I want to try and show you. Here we go. It's kind of difficult to give a real look of what it looks like. It's profound. This was built in 3,500 BC, and the detail and the sheer size of the things here is just literally out of this world. And I just had the most profound experience in there. I don't even know how long I've been here for, over an hour. I sat and did some meditation, did some activation, and then I went into the temple itself and sat with the rocks. So before doing that, went to some really interesting places, having some connection with the place and some of the energy of what it's been used for. It's a sacred place. Oh my God, can you see behind me? I didn't even realise where I'm sitting. I've got the Eye of Horus, so the pineal gland symbol behind me. And this is actually where I was sitting, doing some pineal gland activation meditation. Just being in the energy of this place is just so strong. When I first arrived here, I was overwhelmed with the energy through my body and visions, memories, like cellular memory. And there's definitely a connection to this place for me, and I'm sure for many people. I really had an experience of the oneness of everything and some memories of what has occurred here and the deep, profound, magical and spiritual nature of this place. Some people believe, as I am now, Heimagita, I'm now leaning towards myself, myself, is that this place in particular was a mystery school, and that partly the actual structure of the place and the stones were built as a conduit to bring celestial energy to this particular place and to Earth. And so it was a mystery school where people would learn and teach, but not just human to human. It was actually an energetic place of learning as well. This is from a time way beyond our civilization as far as our extra sensory capacity goes. And I certainly have had some experiences here of memories of that. One of the most interesting things for me, though, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful personal experience that I'll share with you, was standing with the stones. So I was listening to some solfeggio frequencies as I was walking, and then stopping and standing and listening. And the only way to explain it is that those big stones, I was drawn to different ones at different times. They started to move, like they were breathing, so expanding and contracting, and I was definitely in an altered state. And then I was being shown things, and when I say shown, it's like I would have visions, but then I would hear messages, like it would talk to me, and I would feel it in my body. This is something that I remember now. I experienced quite a lot when I was a lot younger, probably about 20 years ago. I used to listen and hear these things from other beings. Like when I say other beings, I mean like birds or trees or rocks. I'd forgotten about that, and it was very profound, and I had an extremely profound experience of those rocks being living beings, and then realizing, feeling, seeing all of nature and life as a living. I mean, and this is something that I know intellectually, but I've just experienced it. And so these stones and these rocks are the teachers themselves. So just being here was an activation, a healing, and a teaching for me. It's just been epic, and I want to come back again tomorrow, I think. And well, I do want to come back again tomorrow and continue. So I learnt a lot, and I wanted to, it's hard to put into words, but I wanted to do this video to share with you all while it's fresh, and also while it's fresh in me. It's a vulnerable thing to share, because I know I myself hear other people sometimes talking about some of these things of this spiritual nature, and I have judgment on them because I judge that they're making it up or that they're being a bit weird, even though I do know that people have these experiences for real. I have a judgment that sometimes it's not real, and it's not just a judgment, sometimes it isn't real anyway. And so I think that's why for me in my life in the last decade, my experience of being connected to and led by life was dimmed down a little bit because of those judgments anyhow. So sharing this with you is really vulnerable for me, and I can feel myself playing it down a little bit. And if I really just let go and just really share with you, this was the most profound experience I've had in a really long time. I feel like I've been here before. I feel like I live here. I feel like this is my home. I feel like these rocks are my family, and I feel this beautiful sensation, and it's overwhelming, but it's not emotional. It's beyond emotional. It's energetic, and there's so much love, and at the same time there's a feeling of a bit of sadness. I'm not entirely sure what that is. There's somehow something didn't quite make it, or there's something, but there's so much love, and whatever wisdom and energy there was here originally, it's still here. It's really still here. And so if ever you've been drawn to this kind of a thing, please come and visit. It's just absolutely profound. And so many of us have a connection. If ever you felt connected to this part of the world, or anything to do with Malta or Egypt, the pyramids, Atlantis, Isis, Osiris, the Magdalene energy, come. It's beautiful. I am going to go now to Dingley, where there's a Mary Magdalene chapel, which apparently was an original site of Magdalene when Magdalene was here. So it'll be very interesting to see. And my experience of Magdalene energy has been, I could share about that, but I've had some long time ago, had some extreme experiences anyway. And yes, Mary Magdalene was a person, but the Magdalene energy is much bigger than one person. It's something that I'm traveling with again in a new way, and it has to do with the rose. Magdalene energy is the strength of the feminine that opens up, and when fully open, that Magdalene energy, that feminine, that sacred feminine energy is open to receiving all of that beautiful spiritual cosmic energy that's there. But a rose is so soft and gentle, yet so strong. Roses are so strong, but you cannot force a rose open. A rose can only open gently and slowly in its own time. And this is one of the greatest teachings of the feminine, is to be fully open and to receive. And through that openness and receiving, we share with the world that beauty that is the fragrance of the feminine, which is so beautiful and so intoxicating. And the only way we can do this is by trusting nature to open us up gently and slowly, because that's the only way that feminine energy can open. It's pissing down with rain now, so I'm going to go. Thanks for listening.